Well, it's noon on Friday, February 11th, 2022, and this is news that you can use with your dear friends and hosts, Zach and Ray. And it's Friday, so that means it's Kimberly's Corner with the F&I goddess herself, Miss Kimberly Klein.
Hello.
Hey there,
Hey,
Kimberly.
how are you guys? I see you've got a lot of screws behind you.
Yeah, that's just our way to represent to the American public exactly how many times they're getting screwed on a daily basis. Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel, Ray.
You guys are funny.
Well, it's true. As a matter of fact, I recently read an article that you sent me about some business practices from OEMs and large F&I product providers where they are bullying third-party providers, which ultimately means they're bullying and taking advantage of us, the consumer.
It is definitely the trickle down effect. And where does it always land?
It always lands on the consumers. The consumers are the ones that pay for all this, that are always getting screwed. And the article that you sent me, I mean, it was a really in-depth article, and it was funny because the perspective that the article was taking was that it was impacting third-party providers, insurance providers, and
Right.
it was and that the manufacturers and the manufacturers' captive lenders were the ones that were responsible for it. But it hardly spent any time at all on how that ultimately it really impacts the consumer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the big guys are like thirsty chihuahuas. They're like, we're gonna gobble up all these third parties and push them out of the way like bullies. I think the term was used in the article. And I did
Yes.
take a few notes here because some of the language used in the article, the biggest one, manufacturer manipulation. Have we heard this before?
Um,
Manufacturer manipulation. Yes, we have, haven't we?
well, yeah, I've been manipulated many times by the
Yeah.
manufacturers.
Can you guys tee it up a little bit though? Not like no one else has read this article.
Yeah.
I can't screen share
Yes.
today. So Kimberly, what was
Oh,
this about?
gotcha. Okay, so it's about OEMs, manufacturers forcing dealerships, finance office to
He's
use
coughing.
their. Oh, wait.
Today's a drinking game. Every time Zach coughs, we have to drink.
I'm not amused.
All right.
Okay.
So OEMs forcing dealerships to use their products in the finance office. So let's use this scenario. Let's say you're buying, I don't know, make up some car, you guys. Let's call it the screw car. You're going into the screw car dealership, and it's a
Gotcha
brand
Motors.
new Gotcha
Yeah.
Motors, and you're in the finance office. It's brand new 2022 screw car, and you get offered all of these products. Well, you know that you've looked around, you've done your due diligence, and you've found some other products that you're interested in. I don't know, like a tire and wheel plan, or maybe a paint and interior that you would rather use somewhere else. But the screw car product is so expensive, and you can get it cheaper somewhere else. And so you say to the finance manager, "Hey, I like this screw car, product, but I can get it cheaper over here." And the finance manager says, "Yes, but this screw car product is through your manufacturer or backed by your manufacturer screw car." So even though you can get the same product through somewhere else, you get the warm, fuzzy feeling because it's got screw car's name on it.
It
I don't
is.
think that made any sense to anyone. So let's just, it's the same product, but the manufacturers are putting their name on it and forcing dealerships to use them, pushing out all of the third party products.
And if the dealership doesn't use the factory sponsored products,
Mhm.
for every third party product that they sell, they have to have the customer sign a form where the customer states that they understand that this is not backed by the manufacturer, and which would indicate to the customer that if it's not backed by the manufacturer, well, then maybe it's not as good. When in fact it is just as good, but it's not backed by the manufacturer is a scare tactic to get you to pay more than you actually need to pay for something.
Yeah, and that's where the attorneys are jumping in.
And in some cases, what seems through common sense to be illegal, oftentimes isn't. But it's if they threaten the dealer that they won't finance the same amount or won't finance the third party warranty or things like that. That's where it can suddenly get a little sticky, and the dealers can fight back. But most dealers aren't going to fight back because all they want to do is maintain whatever profits they can in the back end.
Exactly. So let's let the people know a little bit how this works. There are administrators that may go through agents. Agents go into the dealerships to sell their products in the finance office. Now, these agents, there are many more benefits for a dealership to go with said agent. For example, ongoing support and training to finance managers is one of the benefits that come with these products. And so I can only imagine that all of these agents and administrators are getting pushed and pushed by the OEMs. I highly doubt that the OEMs will have the same support and training and ongoing benefits to the finance department that many of these larger agents administrators currently have. But if you can get the same product for some, if I present you with, do you see what I'm saying? If I present you with two products, this one says ABC and this one says Subaru on it, and they're the exact same products. This one is $3,000. This one is $1,800. Which one will you buy?
And oftentimes you can't even give the people that option because of the way that the OEMs, the manufacturers, are playing, or the way that the captive lenders are playing, where they force you to sell the one that says Subaru as opposed to the one that says ABC, so that ultimately the people that are paying for this are the customers, the consumers. They're the ones that are losing the availability of options that might have been out there, but that the way things are being structured today, the dealer can't necessarily share them with the customer. And it's not just the OEMs, because there's a couple really major players that provide in the F&I field that control the bulk of what gets sold. And these players have grown in stature and power over the past few years. That's why they feel as if they can help push out the third party, the smaller third party vendors. And every time that happens, it impacts consumers. And
it does.
Last time I checked, we're one of the few people that are trying to be there for consumers.
Exactly. And I like how the article said that it's due to a constantly changing marketplace as the reason for bullying. So it's just another example of taking advantage of the current market. It drives me nuts.
I'll share an example for the two of you from a different industry, but it's the same concept. And the industry was when I had a golf pro shop, and my one of my representatives came in, and this representative was a major player in the golf ball market. Also, they were in the club market, but they weren't that big of a player in the club market. So the representative came in and he said, "Hey, listen, we have a special on these 15 ball golf ball packs that we sell. They're $15.99 wholesale to you. Our research has indicated that they sell best at $14.99, and they're really a popular ball. Oh, and if you'd like to sell our golf ball, you also have to carry all of our golf clubs that we offer.
Hmm.
And if you won't buy the golf clubs, then you can't buy the golf balls.
Oh my God.
Well, so
Okay.
that's basic. And so what they're doing is they're dictating terms that ultimately I had to be there trying to convince customers that they should buy golf clubs that were inferior to other golf clubs because it was the only way that I could get the golf balls in order to be able to do that. And so it's just another example of where predatory pricing impacts how much the consumers have to pay
The
for things.
consumer, absolutely.
Yeah, and
And
it's
it's
really
trickery. It's trickery.
it is it is, and it's just it's another nail in the coffin for the way this process is continuing. I think personally,
I do too. I
Yeah.
completely agree.
yeah. So now, when it comes to
That
warranties or extended vehicle service contracts, as we like to call them, isn't that what we call them? Service contracts. Oh, you're allowed to talk.
I'm
you're
good.
allowed
You
to
can
talk.
you can do more than just cough, buddy. When it comes to warranties, you know, people take shots at us because we sell a third party warranty, but the third party warranty that we sell is one of the largest providers of these warranties in the country, and it's a well respected and well thought of warranty company that doesn't have issues paying claims, which is what everybody's major concern is.
Yeah, exactly. I have a problem, and I always have had this problem. I hate the term third party in the finance office. I just, I don't care if it's a third party. I want to know about the product. Tell me about the
Exactly.
product. What are the benefits? Show me the value in it. Give me some examples of how this might benefit me. And then, of course, I'm going to negotiate the heck out of the price. But I really dislike the term third party because everything in the world is third party as far as I'm concerned. I wish they would just take that out of automotive language. Third party, third party.
And just call it options.
Yeah, options. Give me the options. Tell me what the benefits are.
Yes.
Give me some examples.
Here are two different gap insurance providers. Here's the differences or the similarities between the two, and one is twice the cost of the other. So you tell me, folks, which one would you prefer? I remember when years and years and years ago, when I was at a Pontiac dealership, and GM had what they called a smart buy. And
Yes,
the smart
I
buy,
remember that too. Yeah.
which was just really a balloon payment at the end of
Yep.
the finance term, almost a deferred down payment. You're gonna make that down payment at the end, not the beginning. But I remember the way I used to phrase it to customers. Did you want to look at the conventional 72-month financing, or would you like to take a look at a smart buy as well? You want to stay with the conventional dumb buy, or do you want to go with the smart buy? So,
Is
but
that
it's options, and it's being able to provide people with options. And the manufacturers and their captive lenders are trying to take away the options that consumers should have.
Yes, and here's the danger in it for the consumer in the finance office. The danger is I have this product and it's how am I going to put this? Don't you as a consumer get the warm fuzzy feeling when you think to yourself, "Oh, so this is through the manufacturer and that's why I'm going to pay more for it." That makes me feel better. It's like buying a pair of brand name jeans back in the day, not today, but back in the day, Jordache jeans you pay more for
Mm-hmm.
because of the name brand. But over here is the exact same product. It's kind of like the drugs like Tylenol versus a bottle of
Acetaminophen.
acetaminophen
Yeah,
in
they're
Walmart.
the same. Yeah.
They're the same product, but I do feel there's something inside of me that feels better about paying more for the bottle that says Tylenol.
Maybe if the products, instead of being called third party, they were just called generic. Because when
Mm,
it comes to drugs that you get, that are prescribed to you, do
yeah.
you want the generic brand, which is the same exact manufacturing as the name brand drug, but at the generic brand, it costs you $10 for a 90-day supply, as opposed to if you take the name brand, it's $150 for the 90-day supply. If they're the same thing,
Yeah, if they're the same thing, why am
you,
I going
why,
yeah.
why am I being asked to pay double or triple or 10 times the amount, simply because it has to have the name brand on it? And that's what we're seeing happening with a lot of the finance and insurance products today, where the manufacturers are just flexing their muscle,
Yeah.
and
And being bullies.
being bullies. And then the dealers, I know dealers that I worked for, we sold generic, and we also sold manufacturer.
Mhm.
And the dealer principal would always say, um, I need you to make sure that we're selling at least 40% of the manufacturer's products so that they'll be happy with us and buy more deals from us. But it has to be at least 40%. And it puts the pressure on the finance manager to have to try and decide, well, which 40% are going to be the ones that have to buy the name brand as opposed to the generic brand.
Yeah, yeah, and I worked for multi-brands all my years. It's always been multi-brands at the same time. So, I worked for Subaru, Mazda, Volkswagen, GMC, Buick and Pontiac back in the day, but all these brands at the same time. So I was working simultaneously with maybe 10 different administrators,
Hmm.
depending on what car I was delivering that day or what vehicles we were moving. Um, they're all basically the same products, but we did use a couple of maybe 2 of
Hmm.
OEM backed products. All these other products, they're the same. They're the same. But I can promise you the consumer, that person sitting across the desk from me, and me as a finance manager would always point out that this is backed by X, Y, and Z. This is backed by your manufacturer.
Hmm.
And by golly, people love that, and they're going to pay more for it. It makes them feel better. They're going to pay more for it. Even
Yep.
though the product over here for Pontiac was the exact same thing without the manufacturer's name.
Zach was
What
about
about certified pre-owned?
What about it?
What
And
about it? So with CPOs, on extended warranties, vehicle service contracts, most of the time you will have a manufacturer-backed wrap that you can sell to wrap the entire car,
Hmm.
but a lot of
I
times
just
you won't.
and I just mean in general, like in the same context of consumers paying for it. Like, how much does it actually cost to CPO a car? Doesn't the
Oh,
manufacturer charge the dealership?
Well,
Like,
well,
and it fits the same void or fills the same void in the sense of, as a consumer, I
mhm.
want the CPO one because it's Volvo certified.
well,
Yeah.
and the
Sorry.
reason they came up with certified cars was so that it would give the manufacturer the opportunity to basically extend the original factory warranty, whether it was another 2 years, 50,000 miles, whatever it was. In some cases, it might be 2 years and unlimited miles, depending on the brand. But that was basically an extension of the factory warranty, and the CPO cars to the consumers were more expensive, and they were more expensive to the consumer because the manufacturer required the dealership to do a greater degree of reconditioning, so that the average reconditioning cost on, say, a certified Acura was about $1,800 compared to about $1,000 in reconditioning if it wasn't certified. So you right there, you had $800 to $1,000 more in cost in the car. Then you had to pay Acura for the right to have that certified pre-owned warranty attached to it, and that might be another $650. So suddenly you're $1,400, $1,600 more expensive in your cost of the vehicle, and that gets passed on to the consumer. But the consumer's buying it with all that added protection. So that's why it should be worth the additional dollars to the consumer. But you can buy non-certified, and Kimberly knows this, and just add an extended vehicle service contract to it and get the same type of coverage. And ultimately, it could end up being less expensive than a certified.
Yeah, certified, I have only worked with manufacturer certifications. There
Hmm.
are dealership certifications. I'm not a fan of them because dealership that puts them in control of said certification, whereas a manufacturer certified pre-owned vehicle, they have their own, the manufacturer has very good guidelines for that inspection and for that certification, that a vehicle has to go through rigorous inspection to become CPO. A dealership kind of takes that away. If you get dealership certified, they make up whatever they want to do. To me, that doesn't
And
mean a whole lot, but the manufacturer certified does.
well, and the reason the manufacturer certified does is because, if you have for instance, an Acura certified vehicle, well, you can take that vehicle to any Acura dealership anywhere in the United States, and they'll honor that certified warranty. If you
Hmm.
have a dealership certified program, it might require that any repairs that the vehicle needs has to be done at that dealership
Yeah.
or at some affiliated network of dealerships. And if there aren't any of those anywhere near where you broke down or had an issue, well, then it becomes worthless. So manufacturer CPO programs tend to have more value associated with them than just regular certified independent dealer certified programs. They normally mean nothing
Yeah.
in my experience.
And one more thing I'd like to say about the CPO. So you do get manufacturer certification, you do get these extra benefits of knowing it went through this rigorous inspection, and it does come with an extended powertrain warranty typically. But the wrap or the extended version, the extended warranty that the finance manager will sell to you is nothing more. It's not special. It's the same thing as any other VSC.
Hmm.
We use terms like wrap, saying, okay, well, now we're going to wrap the car and cover it for even an even longer period of time. It's the same thing as a VSC.
Exactly. But which is why in a lot of cases it could be cheaper for a customer not to get a factory certified car and just buy a regular used car and attach or purchase an extended vehicle service contract along with that. You'll end up spending less money, but end up having the same exact coverage. And
Especially in this market, this
yes,
insane, crazy market.
yes. As a matter of fact, speaking of the same crazy market, I spoke to a dear friend of mine last night, Chip, and
Chip.
they are still experiencing a slowdown. Um, Used cars aren't selling near as quickly as they had been, and they are still working under the concept of it is better to take a shorter deal today than to get clubbed like a baby seal 2 months from now. Um, and a lot of the bigger groups, he said, are still just living by the 45 to 60-day turn policy. If the vehicle isn't retailed, it's going to be wholesaled, and we'll take whatever loss there is, we'll take it now, and hopefully that'll be less than what the loss would be further down the road. So at least in some portions of the country, the used car market is cooling down a bit. Um, New cars, it's still an issue because there's still shortages of new cars, and with what's going on with the blockades in Canada, that's impacting
That's a whole,
manufacturing. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's above and beyond COVID. That's above and beyond chip shortages. That's
It's
a
its
bridge
own,
shortage.
I'll be
yeah.
right back. I forgot a tissue. I'm sorry, gang. I'll be right
You
back.
forgot a tissue. Yeah,
Well,
no,
I mean,
yeah.
he's been
Don't
using
worry,
his
I'll be able to hit end broadcast when it's time.
he can use his sleeve. We
Well,
don't mind, do we? I mean, use your sleeve.
he could, but his mother taught him better than that. What can I tell you?
Good,
Um,
good.
yeah, I think he needs to spend a weekend with just a giant pot of chicken soup. Um,
Yeah. And
that might
maybe
help
even
him.
a Vicks vapor thing too.
Yeah, because believe it or not, he's running a full marathon a week from this coming Sunday.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
exactly, exactly. So we need him to get healthy and better for that marathon, because otherwise, I don't know. I don't want to have to go visit him in the hospital wherever the hell he's running this thing.
No, none of us do.
All right. So, how about you both
Yeah,
leave us with one other way that consumers get
screwed.
in at the dealership?
Well,
Oh, okay. Well,
I'll let you go first.
I mean, if we're talking about scare tactics, I'm thinking of scare tactics in the finance office. One of them is by saying, you can't pay this off. You have to keep this for 60 days or 90 days or whatever. You can't pay this off. Another scare tactic that we were always taught to use, although I will tell you I never did this, but I certainly thought about it, was getting a part out of the service department, a big part, and sticking it on our desk and saying, hey, to fix this, it was like $2,500. I don't even know what this part is, but it
Yeah,
would scare people. They would see the part because you're selling non-tangible items. But if I stuck a part there, they would put the fear in you, and you'd
Those are pretty
forget
good
about
ones.
no, don't negotiate, just pay.
and the scare tactic, at least in the old days, on the sales side of things, was simply, well, this offer, this deal, it's only good till the close of business today. You come back tomorrow, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to start all over again. So
Yeah.
the numbers we're at now, the ones that you said, I'll take the car at X number, and I got to that number. If you're not signing up right now, you got till we close tonight. That's a scare tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've also heard like going to another salesperson and like asking them to come by and ask for the keys that you're about to like take a test drive with your customer on or
Oh
something
yeah,
like that.
there's any number, and typically if you're a consumer, if you haven't spent any time at joinyaa.com,
Right.
going through Deal School, reading and going through some of our tutorials and watching some of our videos, well, the scare tactic then, if you haven't done any of that, starts when the salesperson says hello. Okay, so
We should write a book. We should write a book of scare tactics alone.
yes,
Like whenever you come into the finance office and you say, thanks for going over the menu with me, but I'm kind of looking over here somewhere else for an at least not so expensive extended warranty. I'm going to say, oh, for that price, it's not going to cover anything. Or I've never heard of them before, or we don't fix that here. There's so many. We should write a book.
yeah, we really should. And I don't know who we'd get to write the forward, but we'd have to find somebody. Maybe we could ask Elon. Well,
Elon, as
yeah.
in Musk.
Okay.
Well, I think
Yeah.
he's a little concerned with his pieces falling out of the sky right now. I think he's got better things to think about.
Yes.
All right, gang. Well, happy Friday. Thank you both for being here. Thanks for walking us through all of that. I am going to go rest.
I think you should.
I would
Yes.
recommend that.
Yes.
Rest, chicken noodle soup,
Yeah.
Vicks vapor rub.
Yeah. Hot tea.
hot tea,
with some
maybe
whiskey
some.
and honey in it.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking too. Little
yeah,
little
yeah.
little
Little,
shot in
little
there,
hot
maybe some
toddy.
little
Yeah,
hot toddies
yeah,
cure all.
yeah.
I'll report back on Monday.
Please.
Please
Are we
do.
doing a show tomorrow night?
We'll figure it out. I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay, maybe we'll see you here tomorrow night, folks. If not, we'll see you next Monday at noon with more news that you can use from YAA. Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you guys. It's so good seeing you again. Have a great weekend.
You
You
do the
too.
same. Enjoy this. Enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend.
Oh, I definitely will. I
See ya.
will.
Okie doke.
Bye.
Bye bye.